Hey, Gritty Kids. Welcome back to Gritty Kids Podcast. I am Miss Erin, and I am so happy you are here with me. Today, I am with the amazing authors of a book that I loved the first time I read it, and now has become one of my favorites. The title is Are You Mad at Me? And the authors' names are Cody Feder and Tyler Feder. Wait, did I just say Tyler Feder? That's right, Gritty Kids. My favorite author is back to read with us. This book is so wonderful for so many reasons. And there is something special about the other author. The other author's name is Cody Feder. Same last name. Cody Feder and Tyler Feder are sisters, and they wrote this book together. How cool! Since the book is illustrated by Tyler Feder, you might know by now that Tyler likes to use her drawings to share a lot, and she always draws pictures that have a lot to look at. Today, Tyler, Cody, and I are going to read and talk about Are You Mad at Me? Together. Is this the best day ever? Yes. After we read and talk, I will ask them a few questions, and then they will read the story to us again. What an absolute present of an episode. Get comfy and settle in for this special story, Gritty Kids. Without further ado, that is a fancy way of saying you don't have to wait any longer. I want to welcome the wonderful, brilliant Cody Feder and Tyler Feder. Yay! Cody, welcome to Gritty Kids, and Tyler, welcome back. We are delighted to have you here with us.
Oh my goodness, my face already hurts from smiling so much. Thank you so much for having us.
Yeah, thank you. I'm so happy to be back, and I'm so happy to have Cody here now, too.
Oh, this is going to be so wonderful. Thank you guys for being here, really. I am so excited that I have this sort of excited feeling in my heart and in my stomach. And I think you're right, Cody, also in my cheeks from smiling so much. It's a good feeling, but it almost feels like I might burst with happiness. When we are recording this for you, Gritty Kids, it is July 4th. On this day in the United States, lots of people set off fireworks. It might sound silly, but this episode and this story feel like fireworks to me. Big, beautiful, a little bit surprising, and celebratory. And there is so much to look at. It is hard to look away. You want to keep looking to see all of it. And there is a little bit of, this is a big word, anticipation. You can try to say that with me. Anticipation. Anticipation is when you know something is going to happen. It can be something good or something not good or something you aren't sure about how it will be. Like when you know that the fireworks are going to be loud and bright, but you're excited. The feeling right before the fireworks explode in the sky. This book has all of those magical and intense parts, just like fireworks. Just a reminder, if you hear this sound, that means I'm going to stop reading the author's words and use my own words to talk about the story. Then when I play this sound, it means I'm going to start reading the author's words again. If you hear this sound, that means I'm turning the page. If you are following along at home, you can turn the page with us. All right, I'm looking at the cover of our amazing book. The title is Are You Mad at Me? And all we see on the cover is an animal, a bird, maybe an ostrich, looking very worried. I have asked that same question before and been worried that someone I care about is disappointed in or upset with me. On the title page, we see the bird again, sitting in their bed, still with a worried look on their face. I wonder if someone is mad at them or if they did something wrong. Opal Feather loved her long neck. It helped her reach the highest branch, spot her friends in crowds, and it looked great wrapped in her favorite scarf. Phew! The animal is a bird, and her name is Opal. We get to see Opal with a happy face on these pages. I like how she looks proud and excited. But when Opal was anxious, her neck felt as wobbly as a spaghetti noodle. Her family lovingly called this the noodles and tried their best to help. Her mama reminded her she was brave. Her pops wrapped her in snuggly hugs. Her sisters told their silliest jokes. If only getting rid of her worries were that simple. On the last page, we saw Opal looking strong with her neck stretched up high to help her friends and wear her special scarf. Now Opal's special neck is all wobbly and her face looks worried. There's a big word on this page that means the same thing as worried. It is anxious. 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 Even though Opal's whole family tries to help her get rid of her anxious, worried feeling, the noodles, nothing seems to help. Today was one of Opal's favorite days of the year, the Feather family's annual soiree. Everyone pitched in to make it extra special. This year, it was Opal's job to pick up the triple-layer double custard beet and berry tart from Miss Peanut's Bakery. The tart was a Feather family tradition. No soiree was complete without it. This sounds fun and looks fun. Opal's sisters and parents are all busy, happily preparing for the party. A soiree is the French word for a party. Triple layered chocolate custard beet and berry tart. Yum. Even though Opal's neck isn't super wobbly, I do notice that she looks a little worried and her neck is a little wobbly. Opal already felt a little noodly. Picking up the tart was a big responsibility. Step by step, she ran through the routine that helped her stay calm before doing something new and scary. She wrapped her special scarf around her neck, gave herself a pep talk in the mirror, and took 3 deep breaths. She was on her way. I see why Opal was feeling a little noodly. She was worried about this big responsibility. It sounds like Opal has some strategies she uses to help her when she's feeling anxious. She puts on her scarf, gives herself a pep talk. That means reminding yourself that you are brave and capable, and took some deep breaths. As she walked along the path, she noticed a familiar set of spots up ahead. Was that her friend Henrietta? But just as Opal raised her wing to wave, the creature sped away. Why did Henrietta ignore her? A familiar lump grew in Opal's throat and traveled all the way down her neck until she was wobbly as a noodle. She called out to her friend, "Are you mad at me?" Poor Opal. She looks really wobbly, even her legs. Henrietta rushed back to Opal with a confused look on her face. "Why would I be mad at you?" Opal sniffled. "You ran away when I waved," she said. "I didn't even see you, silly," said Henrietta. "Today is my first day of track practice and I was hurrying to get there early." "Phew," said Opal. "Have fun at practice." She continued on her way. So Henrietta wasn't ignoring Opal. She was just focused on something else, getting to track practice. Phew. Soon she found herself at the mouth of a deep, dark cave that led to the edge of the forest. She put on her trusty headlamp and ventured inside. Suddenly, a grouchy voice echoed through the cave. "Hey, who's there? Turn off the light!" Opal's heart began to pound and her mouth felt dry. The noodles again? She quickly turned the lamp off and exclaimed, "Are you mad at me?" "Not again." I know that feeling when my heart beats faster and my mouth feels dry, and sometimes my stomach feels twisty when I'm worried that I'm in trouble. I think I understand why the title of this book is Are You Mad at Me? "Opal, is that you?" called the voice, now sounding much less grouchy. In the darkness, Opal could barely make out her friend Remington hanging above. "I'm not mad, I'm just nocturnal," they said. "Sorry I yelled. I get kind of cranky when I'm sleepy." "Phew," said Opal. "Sleep tight." The cave let out into a meadow filled with the most vibrant flowers Opal had ever seen. I should pick some of these for the party, she thought, and got to work. Okay, so Remington the bat wasn't actually mad at Opal. They were just sleeping. They are nocturnal, which means they are an animal who sleeps during the day. You know, I can be a little bit cranky if someone wakes me up when I'm sleeping too. Opal seems to be feeling better, and wow, those flowers are vibrant. That means really colorful. As she bent down to pluck another blossom, a tiny voice shouted, "Hey, miss, I'm working here." Oh no, throat tight, neck wobbly, legs like jelly. Opal felt it all again, even quicker this time. She dropped the flowers and blurted, "Are you mad at me?" I'm noticing a pattern here. Are you gritty kids? I bet Opal's bee friend isn't mad at all. Opal just accidentally picked a flower they were working in. Bees do take their work very seriously. I think Opal is worrying and anticipating that anytime someone's reaction isn't joyful, they must be mad at her. "Course not, just real busy," buzzed Hank the honeybee, peeking out from behind a petal. "I'm on the job, gotta fill this honey order for Miss Peanut by sunset." "I'm heading to Miss Peanut's bakery right now," said Opal. What a coincidence. It went on like this all day. "Are you mad at me? Are you mad at me? Are you mad at me? Psst, are you mad at me? Are you mad at me? You're not mad at me, are you? Are you mad at me?" Opal is relieved that Hank is not mad at her, but as she continues to travel to Miss Peanut's bakery to pick up the cake, she continues to worry that everyone is mad at her. Poor Opal. Again and again, the noodles crept back. On the last page, when Opal was traveling to get to the bakery, the illustration shows her asking, "Are you mad at me?" over and over. There's a dotted line like on a map showing where Opal went and where she stopped, worried someone might be upset with her. Up the mountain, down the mountain, in the water, in the grass, on the ice, in the sky, underground. Each time, Opal was worried a friend was mad at her. They weren't. They were just busy or distracted, reacting to something unrelated to Opal, or had an expression on their face that Opal thought might be a mad at her face. The giraffe says, "I was crunching too loudly on these yummy leaves to hear you say hi." The bunny said, "I only yelped because I got a thorn stuck in my paw." The mountain goat said, "I'm just feeling grouchy because I lost my favorite beard comb." The bird said, "I flew away because I thought I smelled a French fry." The penguins all said, We didn't mean to exclude you. We just huddle like this to stay warm. The manatee said, I'm finishing my underwater basket weaving project and I got distracted. And then the anglerfish says, this is just my face. By the time Opal got to the bakery, she was pooped. Being anxious was a lot of work. Hello, Opal, said Miss Peanut. Look at you, old enough to pick up an order by yourself. How was the trip here? Opal told her everything. Why don't I join you for the walk back, said Miss Peanut. I'd be leaving for the party soon anyway. Thank goodness Opal made it. She is pooped. That means tired. Worrying about what everyone thinks about her, and if they are mad, sounds tiring. I'm glad Opal feels like she can tell Miss Peanut what happened on the way there and how she's feeling. I'm also glad Miss Peanut is going to walk back with Opal. That might make her feel less worried. You know, said Miss Peanut as they strolled side by side, when I first opened my bakery, I constantly worried that customers were mad at me. Turned out, most of them were just hungry. Opal giggled. When they arrived back at Opal's house, her whole family was outside setting up. You did it, said Pops. How do you feel? Aw, Miss Peanut is a good friend. Sometimes it helps to know that other people feel worried about the same things as you. I'm proud of myself, Opal said, but it wasn't easy. Every time I bumped into someone, I worried I'd done something wrong or that they didn't like me. We know the noodles make it extra hard to try new things, said Mama. You are one brave ostrich. Yay! I'm proud of Opal too. Trying new things is hard for everyone, but for some of us, getting anxious or having the noodles can make it even harder to be brave because we might be spending a lot of time thinking and worrying about things like whether we are loved, accepted, smart, or attractive. Some of us don't get the noodles, and we already know that we are wonderful just the way we are. We might also know and believe that even if someone is mad at us or doesn't like us or think that we are smart or attractive or we make a mistake, that we are still just as wonderful. The Feather Family Soiree was the best one yet. This page makes my heart happy. This page is the part of the fireworks where you can't look away because there is so much to look at. Just looking at each character on this page makes me feel joyful. I could spend an entire episode just talking about each of the illustrations on the pages of this beautiful book. This page is one of my favorites because everyone is together celebrating. All of Opal's friends and family are here. Even the manatee and the anglerfish came. They have their own tanks of water so they can join in the fun. And there's a very cute white kitty and 2 puppies I didn't notice before. I hope that Opal sees and feels the goodness that came from her being brave. That even though parts of this day were hard for her, she got through it. Big feelings, like the noodles, come for everyone, and then they pass. They come, and then they go, and we are still okay. All right, Gritty Kids, this is the last page. When Opal got in bed that night, she was full of hope and triple layer double custard beet and berry tart. Today wasn't the last day she'd get the noodles, but the next time they came, she knew she would be okay. Wait! Opal, are you mad at me? I've been trying to say hi this whole book. Look what you can miss when you worry the day away. Can you spot Mel the chameleon throughout the book? Wait a second. What? I didn't even notice Mel the chameleon. I was definitely too busy worrying about Opal. I am confident that Opal is not mad at Mel, but this is a good reminder. When we spend so much time worrying about what might happen or not happen, or what people think about us, we might miss special, wonderful things that are right in front of us. Yay!
Yay!
Cody, Tyler, thank you for sharing your book with us. I have some questions for you, and then we will listen to you read it. When you read to us, could you please point out Mel on each page?
Sure,
Yes.
yeah.
That'll be fun.
Yay! Oh, amazing. All right, so I'm going to ask some questions, and both authors are here, Gritty Kids, so you might hear one or both of them talking, and that's okay. My first question is, why and when did you write this book?
So this book happened because I was supposed to be working on a different book that was for older kids about mental health. And I was having a hard time with it. I was feeling anxious because I have the noodles, just like
Mm,
Opal. Um, and I kept worrying that the people that I was working on the book with, the editor and the art director, that they were feeling mad at me. And I
mm,
would talk about it with my sisters.
mm,
And Cody said to me as a joke, "You should write a book called Are You Mad at Me?" Because I was
mm,
saying it so much. And then we just kept thinking about it and we were like, wait a minute, that's kind of a fun idea. We were sort of thinking of that book, Are You My Mother, with the little
mm.
bird that goes up to all the different animals and asks if they're his
Yeah.
mother. Um, and animals are such a fun way of giving all these reasons why people might not be upset because they have all their fun different details about the types of animals they are. And because
Mm,
Cody was the one who gave me the idea, I thought it would be fun to work on it together. And I was very happy that she said yes.
mm,
Yeah, that is such a nice memory. You know, sometimes when you're seeing someone you care about getting the noodles or feeling anxious, one of the things, just like the sisters in the book, that we like to do is kind of get a little silly and try to make them laugh. So I was thinking, as Tyler was telling me, oh gosh, I'm feeling anxious about this book. I'm not sure, like I don't know, the ideas aren't coming to me and I don't want the publisher to be upset and all this stuff. I was just kind of trying to be a little silly and say, "Oh my gosh, at this point you should just write a book called Are You Mad at Me?" Because I kept saying, "No one's mad at you. No one's mad at you." But you know, it's so much easier to say that to somebody else, but Tyler turned it right around on me and said, "No, you also worry about this." And I said,
Mhm.
"You're not wrong about that." So then
mm,
we thought it would be such a good idea because if when we were younger, I would have loved a book about that because I just remember feeling like, why did they sit on that side of the carpet during the reading?
mm,
But when my teacher was reading, we normally sit together.
mm,
Or, wait, well, the teacher last time I helped her pass out the papers, this time she asked somebody else, did I not do a good job? And I was like, this really would be a good book idea. And then I thought it was so sweet when Tyler said, well, you should do it with me because I'm
mm.
not even an author. And
Well, you are
You are
now.
now.
well, now I am. So that's how it all got started. How many years ago was that, Ty? I can't
Maybe
even
2 or 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it ended up being a really special thing to get to work together, especially since that's something that we absolutely both relate to. It
Mm,
wasn't hard to have to imagine too much, like,
Yeah.
and get think too hard about it because experience those feelings often and are working on that in
mm.
therapy.
That's right. As we all are.
Yes.
Mhm.
Because we didn't have books like this. And maybe,
That's
maybe,
right.
the kids that are going to read this and listen to this, then, they're not going to need as much therapy because they're going to
That's
know that it's all
the goal.
okay, right?
Let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Well, my next question is, did one of you write the words and the other illustrate the pictures, or did you do something where you were both working on the words and the pictures? So tell us about how you guys did that together.
Yeah, I did the pictures, but Cody did give me a lot of help while I was working on them, just coming up with ideas.
Mm,
Um, and then we wrote the story together.
mm.
Yes.
Ah,
Yes. It was really fun because when Tyler would be drawing something, we were both kind of visualizing, okay, wait, like for the picture with the page with all the beautiful flowers,
mm,
we were trying with all these different colors. We want it to be vibrant, we want it to look beautiful, but we don't want it to be too busy. So it was really fun getting to kind of work together on those. But yes, they are Tyler's beautiful drawings, and then we wrote it together.
mm. And did you write the words first and then do the pictures? Did you do the pictures first and then the words, or did you kind of do it as one step at a time? You kind of did it in tandem as you went.
I think it was a little bit at the same time. I think it was more like maybe not necessarily the exact words we used, but we came up with the story first
Okay.
and then the pictures and the specific words kind
Mm,
of gradually developed from there.
And
okay.
something a little bit funny was just that we had so much to say on the topic and we felt so strongly about it and just had so many thoughts that the publisher said, guys, I just want you to remember, like, it's for kids. So for children's books, we usually just have like kind of a little bit of text, which even our text isn't that little. So we
Mhm.
had to delete so many things because, of course,
Mm,
we wanted to say, like, and if someone was mad at you, it's
mm,
okay because,
right.
like, those things we talked
Uh-huh,
about,
uh-huh.
we were like, maybe that's for the sequel because
It was
Right,
like there was
yeah.
no room for the
there was
pictures at
no
first
room
because
Oh
for
my
all that
we had
gosh.
stuff. So it
so
was just
much
a
to
little
say.
bit, it just showed how easily it all flowed out of us because we
Mm.
wanted to share so much more. But no, we ended up condensing it and making sure we got the good stuff on each page.
Definitely. Well, and I think that's one of Tyler's many gifts too, is being able to show a lot with pictures
Yes.
that seem very simple but aren't. And I have a couple questions about that in a bit. So it sounds like you both just had a really wonderful experience working together on the book. Was this the first time you guys had worked on a project like this together? I mean, it sounds like yes, but I guess I'm curious about how that process was. It just easy the whole time, and it was like, here's my idea. Oh, perfect. I can do that. And then here's my idea. Oh, yeah, that's perfect. And it was just like great the whole time. Or were there times when you had to compromise or try to listen to the other person's ideas and maybe got stuck on your idea? Or, yeah, just tell us sort of how it was working together.
Well, I think mixing work and family can be a tricky thing a
Mhm.
lot of the time, or friends or people that you know already. And it definitely wasn't like perfect where we were 100% on the same page the whole way through. But overall it was really good. It was fun.
Mhm. That's
Yeah,
wonderful.
I agree. I was like, Ty, are you sure you're okay with this? Because, we we are best friends, we are sisters, but overall, like, this is her job, this is her
Right.
whole career.
Right.
And so typically Tyler works on these books by herself or with, professionals. And I knew that, especially because we're dealing with a topic that we're both pretty sensitive to, our
Mhm.
feelings might come up. But yeah, I would say overall, from my end, it was really a great time. But there were, of course, times where we almost were like, I'm not mad at you. Like,
Yeah, we were laughing because we were literally asking each other, "Are you mad at me?" Not as a joke while we
Oh
were
my
working
gosh.
on
I
the
was
book.
just like, are you sure we can do what, like, this is your, and it was fun.
And
But I
when
think,
we
yeah,
sorry. when we
No.
would email the editor or whoever, a lot of the time we would put "Are you mad at me?" as the subject line of the
Oh my
email.
gosh.
And it was so funny because it just looked like we were all asking each other that all the time.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
That is really, really funny. Wow. Well, it sounds like you guys really, I mean, obviously the book turned out so beautifully. And I know that kids that I have read this book with think it's really, really special that sisters wrote a book together. So I think it was a good move. And I think you can feel from knowing Tyler's other work, I can tell Cody that there's like a different special element to this book that I'm sure is like your part. So yeah, really cool. Really, really great. Thank you for
Thank
sharing all that.
you.
Okay, number 4, you sort of answered this or part of this, but is the Feather family based on your family? Because I noticed that Feather and your last name, Feather, sound a lot alike.
That was very good spotting there. Um, Actually, feather in Yiddish means pen, and I think it came
Mm.
from like a feather quill pen. It might mean pen, I mean feather in German or something. I'm not
Oh,
sure.
cool. Yeah,
Uh,
well, that would make sense.
yeah,
Mhm.
Is
but
that something that you've always known about your last name?
no, actually, I took a Yiddish class in college because that was the language that our family spoke, like our ancestors. And I knew
Mm.
lots of like fun sayings and things, but I didn't know like a lot of vocab. And that was one of our vocab words, fetter. It's
Really?
like, what?
Oh my gosh,
I don't even think
cool.
I knew that.
Yeah, yeah. I have the textbook. I can show you
Oh my
sometime.
gosh, yeah,
Wow.
seriously.
um, but yeah, it is based on our family, kind of. It's three sisters, and the two younger ones are like twins or something, which is not the case in our family. We also
Mm,
have a sister younger than Cody. Um, and also in our family, we kind of all had the noodles. I think in
mm,
this book, it's like the little sisters are totally comfortable all the time, and it's
mm,
just Opal who's struggling. But
sure.
uh, I think in real life, we're kind of all struggling and supporting each other,
Mm,
like in all kinds of different combinations.
mm. I
Yeah.
love that. I mean, I don't love, that you feel that way, but you know what? I think most people get the noodles. We just don't really talk about it. A lot of people try to pretend that they don't get the noodles when they really do. So that's really neat that you guys can all relate to each other and support each other in that way. That's very special. Was there a Feder family soiree that this soiree was based upon, or was that just like let's have them have a special party?
Well, there's no actual soiree, although we just thought that was such a fun word because we wanted it to just seem a little elevated, like, ooh, this is a really special thing where it's not just like another family barbecue or something like that,
Mm-hmm.
which, added to the pressure for Opal to make sure it goes well
Right.
because it's something that she's finally old enough to get to help with.
Mm,
But I think that we definitely grew up having a lot of large family gatherings. We're
mm,
part of like a really big Jewish family, lots of extended family, cousins twice removed, like lots of people. So we definitely had a lot, bat mitzvahs and weddings and big gatherings, but no specific soiree. But it really got me kind of thinking
I
we
know,
should
we should have a
get
Fetter
that
family
party
soiree.
yeah,
get
seriously.
that going.
Make one of those tarts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
really, really. Oh, that's well, and I think a lot of kids have some kind of soiree or event, family event or tradition that they can connect to this soiree with. So
Yes.
I love that. Hmm. My next question is, do you have any other advice? It sounds like there was a lot of information maybe in one of the first drafts of the book, but is there anything else that we didn't cover already that you would like to share with gritty kids who might feel worried sometimes or who feel anxious lots of the time. I really liked the strategies that Opal used before she left for Miss Peanut's bakery. I liked how she brought her special scarf, reminded herself that she's brave, and took deep breaths. Is there anything else you would want to share with us, or with the grown-ups listening, about how to help when these big feelings come?
Yeah, something that we talked about a lot is Cody and I both have anxiety, or the noodles, like we called it in the book, and we have it as adults, but we also very much had it when we were kids.
Mm,
And when we would talk about it with grown-ups at the time, I think a lot of the time they couldn't really connect with the emotions that we were having, because it
mm,
felt like, since our problems were smaller because we were kids, like the specific details of the problems weren't the same as a parent who's like struggling at work, or going through trouble in the marriage or something like that. They'd be like, oh, it's fine, it doesn't matter. But to a kid, like, that was all that we knew. We had nothing to compare it to. And it's hard when you're feeling big feelings, and the grown-ups are telling you that they're not real, or that you shouldn't have them. So I think it's helpful to remember that, like, however you're feeling is real and valid, and it doesn't mean that the things you're worried about are true. But if you kind of like acknowledge the feelings that you're having, it makes it easier for them to move through you instead of getting stuck.
mm,
Yeah,
mhm,
definitely. We did talk about that a lot because it's true. Even super well meaning parents can be like, no, that's silly. That won't
mm,
happen. And
mhm,
for you, it can feel like, no, 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 but if that's the worst thing that you've experienced,
mhm,
or, like it doesn't matter that it's not the same. It might seem like silly or trivial to an adult. That's because they've now lived for many decades that you have not lived. So I think that validating that, that sounds really, I hear that scary for you. And
mm,
I think just the idea of, like, with Miss Peanut, even just being able to say, like, I remember when I was nervous or anxious about this, and just connecting, like, when
mm,
one person, anyone, can just say, oh yeah, been there, or, oh, I
mhm,
struggle with that still, even though I know it shouldn't matter. Like, just connection is so important. And I think just that Opal felt her home was a safe place to be able to express that she was really nervous. She didn't just have to keep it in. And that her family, the first thing that, when she came back after going to the bakery, the first thing after her travels that her dad said was, how do you feel?
mm,
And just having family or friends who really think more about how you're feeling than what happened. See, nothing bad happened, so
mm,
stop.
mm.
Right, right, yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think but I guess, yeah, the missing piece that we didn't get to put in our book, but that is super, super, super important, is that some people will be upset with you. Sometimes it isn't just that they were distracted. I think it's much more rare, but if somebody's getting upset with you pretty regularly you're not you're not doing anything wrong, that might be a good, alarm bell to pay attention to, that might not
Mm,
be the right friend for you. Tyler and I both struggled with friendships, having a couple of friendships in our lifetime where maybe that friend noticed that we were people pleasers, that we wanted everyone to like us, that we were really overly kind, and sort of
mm,
took advantage of that. And if
mm,
we didn't do what they wanted to do, well, I'm going to be mad at you.
mm,
And that felt like the end of the world. So, okay, what do you want us to do?
mm,
And so just also knowing that sometimes if somebody is really upset with you and it's seeming like, wait a second, I really don't think I did anything, that it doesn't mean that you are bad. And in fact, it could be a really good thing to pay attention to and talk to a safe person about,
Mm.
because that might be somebody to just be aware that, that might not be a good fit for me as a friend, or they might be going through their own thing. I think I'm going to give some space, or I'm going to.
Mm.
So that was just another thing we really wanted to make clear, that of course, I would say in our lifetime, probably 99% of the time we thought someone was upset with us, they
Mm.
were not.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Maybe they had a neutral face that felt
Mhm.
comfortable. I'm not great
Mhm.
with people who I can't read. I'm like, oh God, I feel like, was I weird? Did I do? But
Mhm.
that sometimes people are upset, and sometimes it's something where you're like, oh shoot, yeah, I missed the mark. I am sorry about that. That wasn't my intention. But also sometimes people are regularly upset,
Mm.
maybe yell at you or maybe treat you with, you know, a lack of respect. And in those cases, you don't need to be apologizing.
Mhm.
So that's just another, that's in book 2. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
It's certainly
Big
something that's
trilogy.
very important to talk about as well.
Ah, yeah, wow. You both are so wise. No, really, I love all of that insight. And as you were talking, Cody, that reminded me of how it also, like another layer to this, is that it's okay for siblings in particular. I feel like there is this thing that parents do, which is try to make sure that everybody's being nice all the time to each other and everybody's happy
Mhm.
all the time, and it
Yes.
actually sends a message to siblings that they shouldn't ever be mad at each other. And I think that part is related to what Tyler was saying, that sometimes when an adult sees a child problem as trivial or not important, then they aren't going to take it seriously. And so they want you to just move on. But
Mhm.
there's something really important, I think, especially for girls, but for every kind of kid, that we know that it's actually okay in a different context than you were talking
Mhm.
about, Cody, to
Yes,
be
yes, yes,
mad and to disagree,
definitely.
Yeah.
and that's okay. That just means maybe we need to either take a break from each other for a short time,
Yeah,
or we just have some things we need to talk about when we're feeling more calm, but that we don't have to always be
perfect to
happy with
amazing.
each other, right? And that it's
Mhm.
okay to disagree. And I think that's something that for me and my sister growing up, we didn't really learn how to have those disagreements and feel like that was okay and we can still love each other and, be disagreeing. So just so many different
Love
amazing
that.
things that you guys are bringing up right now, but in the book, and wow, it just is really, really amazing. I hope that there is a sequel because I can tell you both have a lot more to share on this topic.
That's such a good point, though. I just want to really quickly say that that is something that even still, we really didn't learn how to get upset and then have that sort of rupture and repair, that like
Mhm,
going from and seeing that like you can two things can be true. You could absolutely be upset with your sibling or a friend or
mhm,
whomever,
Anyone
right,
you
and
care about.
anyone,
Yeah.
and still love them and have no plans of ending that
right,
relationship. So
yes,
that is something that even still I really can have a hard time with, being like, I want you to stop being mad at me now because I'm so sorry.
mhm,
I'm afraid that we're gonna something bad. And Tyler's like,
mhm,
it's okay. Like, I love you. It's gonna be
mhm,
fine.
mhm.
So I'm so glad you brought that up. It's true. I think we need 3 books. I think we need a whole.
Seriously, you got a series. I'm seeing a series in your future.
We've joked
Uh,
that we'll have a book called "You Are Mad at Me, Why?" and like,
Oh no,
yeah.
really. No, really.
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
mad at you.
yeah. That would be a long
Because
one.
that's a feeling that just in the world of childhood,
Mm,
um, the word mad is
Yeah.
so strong. And it really is taught that it's like not, it's bad. It's if somebody's mad, then something is wrong.
Yes.
And sometimes that's true, and other times it's not. But so good. I love this conversation. This is so helpful and informative and thoughtful. And yeah. Okay, just two more questions, and then I will have you guys read and we can wrap up here. So, my next question was, can you tell us more about the illustrations? So, to me, they look a little different than Tyler's other work. And I'm wondering if that's maybe because all of the characters are animals. And I don't know that I've seen much of Tyler's work not being people. So, I didn't know if
Yeah.
that was the difference, if there was a different way that you made the drawings. And then finally, I just and I know I mentioned this earlier, but I want to know how, and I'm sure you're just going to say it took a lot of practice, but I'm so curious how you are able to make such expressive faces on the characters in this book, particularly Opal's, with hardly using any lines. I mean, I'm sure that I'm missing some of the artistic steps, but I'm just looking at the cover right now and I'm like, okay, I can see the lines and you make it look so simple, but just the sizing and the arrangement of the lines, you show Opal in all of these different feelings. And I know that that is one of your gifts, but I would love if you could tell us just a little bit more about all of those things, the illustrations, how you made them, so expressive and all of that.
Sure. Yeah. Thank you so much. You're too kind. Yeah, it's true. The art that I have pretty much always made up until this book was all people. If I ever drew animals, it would be like my cat, where he's basically just a cloud with two little point ears, but like not anything
True.
detailed at all. So it was a process. I knew that I didn't want it to be the exact same art style as the work that I'd done before, just because of it taking place in nature. And I also don't do a lot of backgrounds in my art normally.
Yeah.
There are some, I mean, Bodies Are Cool has backgrounds, but they're pretty minimal. And this was a story that took place in this jungle and all these different like natural worlds where I wanted them to look really fun and figure out how to make them like realistic enough but still a little magical. Um, so it was a lot of like Pinterest is a huge thing for me when I'm
Yeah.
working, of looking at inspiration and seeing how other artists do different types of illustrations. And in terms of the facial expressions and things specifically, it's actually like there's like a real answer. So online, you can find these, I don't even know what they're called, but these like character sheets that Disney did when they were working on movies, where they would like draw like Dumbo, all these
Yeah.
sketches of Dumbo doing different facial expressions or different poses. And so I would look at those for different kinds of animals. And I found one where it had like a ton of different emotions and poses and stuff. And I would try to figure out how to translate the design of Opal or whoever into those emotions. So it'd be like, oh, the eyebrows are up in this one. Okay, I'll make sure her eyebrows are up. But it was like a very methodical process. I still have the tests somewhere from when I was doing that. Lots of tiny little opals and all these different
Yeah.
illustrations.
Did you do it all on your iPad like you normally do? That's
Yeah, I
your
did.
favorite way. Yeah.
I love my iPad.
And no,
It's
it's
my
so cool.
baby.
It's so I love how we got to hear all about your iPad process when we were reading Bodies Are Cool. But so as you were making the illustrations, would you make Opal and then, put her eyebrows in one place and then kind of like look at it and then wonder, okay, does this look like, worried enough, or and then
Mhm.
would you, oh no, like maybe I move them higher? Or was it kind of like that where you had to sort of look at it and then draw it and then maybe try it a little different way to see what the expression felt like to you?
Yeah, because the thing is that like in the real world, animals generally don't show that many different emotions on their
Right.
faces. I think dogs can sort of,
Mm-hmm.
but like I my cat has many emotions and his face is just kind of the same
Right.
the whole time.
Right.
So it's it's a lot of like experimenting,
Yeah.
and also like ostriches, like their necks don't really do like a full like they can bend them a
Well,
little bit. So we tried to figure out how can we like visually represent this
Mm.
internal experience that Opal
Mm.
is having.
Yeah.
And also when I'm drawing emotions on a character's face. This is just a fun little detail that I often do the face on my face,
mhm.
like
Oh,
not on
sure.
purpose. So I'll
Yeah.
be drawing. Cody's like, "What's wrong?" And I'm like, "It just
Maybe
happens.
that's
I
the
don't know."
magic. Maybe you're able to,
Yeah.
like, maybe you're doing it on your face, you're experiencing that feeling or that emotion, and then it's, like, coming through your artist hand. Maybe that's
Yeah,
the secret.
maybe I'm just silly. Maybe you're
Did you
that
know
silly.
that you did that before Cody pointed it out to you?
I mean, I can feel myself doing it.
Okay.
I think a lot of the time when I'm drawing, I'm so focused on what I'm doing that I'm not thinking about it that much.
Sure.
Mhm.
But yeah.
And Cody, for you, the illustration process, were you just, like, sitting next to Tyler as she's drawing on the iPad and being like, "Yeah, that's great," or, "What about this?" Or,
A
like, what
little to
is
the
I
left, a
wish.
little to the right, a little. No,
The eyebrows are
honestly,
too high.
I feel like we were really kind of doing words and illustration side by side. I'm trying to think, Ty,
Mhm.
it's been a little bit since, but so it felt like maybe I was working on like some of the wording or condensing things, and Tyler was working on that kind of side by side. But really, she asked my input a lot, and it was really nice. And
Mm,
we would kind of talk about, okay, I'm visualizing like on this page, like the scale of things. Like, okay, I think her face should be really big and this and that. And so, like, we would
Mhm.
just kind of chat about that. Even though I'm not like an illustrator or an artist on that level, I do really love, like, I still have an artsiness to myself. It's a
You're
yeah.
little more like
super
crafty,
creative.
and
Mm,
so I definitely have like a visual, like I like to visualize things too. So it was really fun getting to be like, okay, like maybe her head, like all I could picture immediately when we started this book, when talking about animals, was her head went for Remington, who was upside down. Like,
yes.
Oh yeah, when her neck goes like
upside
that.
down. Like immediately I was like, that's gotta happen. Also, we
Oh,
have to have her like in the flower, like when the bee's like, hey, I'm working here,
yeah.
like in the flower. Like there were just certain things that we both were like, oh yeah, that's good.
Oh,
So like,
yeah.
and then Tyler would just work her magic and make it come to
Mm,
life. But it was, yeah. So sometimes I did sit there and just be like, ooh, that's good. Yeah. Got
mhm.
it. But other times it felt like it was a little more like, okay, thoughts, should we do this? And we even always sat at this one Starbucks working on it just because I don't know, getting out was nice. And there was this big
Mhm.
mural in front of us that
Mm.
is in that Starbucks, that particular one. And so when we were struggling with like the color palette, we were like, wait a second, like I really like this
Yeah,
color
we did
palette.
say
Oh, cool.
Like, so it's just funny how little things like that happen.
Yeah.
And yeah, so it was, but yeah, I really had it was really a nice time.
Cool. That's really neat. All right, my last question, which I feel like maybe we already answered in the previous one. So you can skip this if you want, but basically just, is there anything else you would like to share with us just about the book or the process or yourself before we move on to you reading?
I
Hmm.
think something that's interesting is that Cody and I have very different personalities in general. I'm like the quiet one, and she's the outgoing one. But we both still have anxiety, and I think it's
Mm,
important to remember that even if someone seems very comfortable, like Cody often does. That
Sure.
inside there can be a lot of
Yeah.
feelings going on, and to just be gentle with ourselves and have compassion for the people around us, because they might be freaking out and having the noodles inside too.
Yeah. That's a really good,
That's a
really
really
good
good
point.
point. Yeah,
Um,
we definitely we have like different, even just like socially, like I'm more comfortable during doing certain things, but I almost feel like I'm always surprised when Tyler's like, "Wait, that's hard for like this part of it is hard for you." I'm like, "Are
mm,
you kidding me?" Like I'm spiraling about it. And so it just helps you remember that like just because what is that thing? It's like just because someone carries it well doesn't mean it's not heavy. And it's like
mm,
sometimes you cannot tell. And I'm like, "Are you sure?" Because like I was sweating. Like, how could you not see that? But it's
mm.
just we are so focused on ourselves that like no
Yeah.
one's even noticing. So while some of us go inward, more like Tyler maybe with like the fear and the anxiety, and I might go outward with filling up space and over
Mhm,
explaining,
mhm,
it can still be a very much shared experience or
mm,
feeling. So yeah, I think it's like you'll be surprised how many people connect with how you feel, even if it might seem like no, they have no problem. Like they just won't
mhm,
sit in there. Like
Mm.
and you just be surprised what's going you can't see what's going on between someone's ears. So it's like you
mhm.
just don't know.
Yeah. Oh, that's such a good point. I'm glad that you said that, Cody, because I work with kids who have different learning differences and
Mm.
during the day, and I have so many students who have come to me and been like, "I am the only person who has ADHD." Or
Mhm.
I'm the only person and nobody and I don't want anybody to know that
Yeah.
I get worried about these things or that I, need this medicine. And as soon as they learn that there are grown-ups in their life that have similarities and that there are teachers and there are celebrities and, that it just
Mhm.
you're right that it's easy to be kind of like Opal focused on your own worries and then kind of miss that, oh yeah, there are all these other people and maybe I've just been thinking that they have it all together and they don't struggle with this or that or so yeah, that is so important. Mm, you guys are the best. Wow. Amazing.
Takes one to know
Amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm finally going to turn it over to you both. So, Cody and Tyler are going to read the story without any interruptions, and I am hoping they're going to point out where Mel the chameleon was while Opal was busy worrying about whether everyone was mad at her. And yeah, do whatever you want with the reading. And if there is something that you wanted to point out that we didn't already, or if you want to talk about Mel the chameleon because we didn't touch on that yet, you can. Otherwise, just do your thing.
Opal Feather loved her long neck. It helped her reach the highest branch, spot her friends in crowds, and it looked great wrapped in her favorite scarf. This is where you see Mel where he's not hidden, I guess, because they're all hanging out as friends. This sort of happened before the rest of the story, but he's in the bottom right corner
Hmm.
of that picture of all the friends hanging out. They're all wearing friendship bracelets.
Yes, I'm
You can
just noticing that for the first time. Oh my
the
gosh.
rhino has one on her tusk.
Oh my gosh.
yeah, we wanted to make it clear that like she also loves her long neck. It's not just like, oh, I'm so
Yes.
embarrassed by it, like it wiggles. It's like no,
Mhm.
she it helps her.
Yeah.
But when Opal was anxious, her neck felt as wobbly as a spaghetti noodle. Her family lovingly called this the noodles and tried their best to help. Her mama reminded her she was brave. Her pops wrapped her in snuggly hugs. Her sisters told their silliest jokes. If only getting rid of her worries were that simple.
You can see Mel is in the
Oh, I'm
top.
sorry, I forgot. Belle's at the
It's
top
like
right corner.
Yes.
Rubbed it
upside
in.
down.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. The strategic placement. I I do have more questions, it turns out.
I
Oh,
think that when I drew Mel, it was also like after we finished the book.
It
I went back
was.
and hid him
Okay.
everywhere.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, we came up with that after.
Today was one of Opal's favorite days of the year, the Feather family's annual soiree. Everyone pitched in to make it extra special. This year, it was Opal's job to pick up the triple-layered double custard beet and berry tart from Miss Peanut's bakery. The tart was a Feather family tradition. No soiree was complete without it. Mel is there on the tree branch next to that bird, looking down at Opal and her dad at the table.
Mm-hmm. Opal already felt a little noodly. Picking up the tart was a big responsibility. Step by step, she ran through the routine that helped her stay calm before doing something new and scary. She wrapped her special scarf around her neck, gave herself a pep talk in the mirror, and took three deep breaths. She was on her way. And you can see Mel is so cute right in the grass below
Oh
her
my
when she's on
gosh.
her way, just waving, hey, trying to get her attention.
Yeah.
Little baby
Oh.
Mel.
As she walked along the path, she noticed a familiar set of spots up ahead. Was that her friend Henrietta? But just as Opal raised her wing to wave, the creature sped away. Why did Henrietta ignore her? A familiar lump grew in Opal's throat and traveled all the way down her neck until she was as wobbly as a noodle. She called out to her friend, "Are you mad at me?" And here Mel is in a tree, hanging upside down, kind of in the background, trying to catch up to Opal.
Mm-hmm. Henrietta rushed back to Opal with a confused look on her face. Why would I be mad at you? Opal sniffled. You ran away when I waved, she said. I didn't even see you, silly, said Henrietta. Today's my first day of track practice, and I was hurrying to get there early. Phew, said Opal. Have fun at practice. She continued on her way, and you can see Mel is in the grass, in the greenery on the left.
Soon she found herself at the mouth of a deep, dark cave that led to the edge of the forest. She put on her trusty headlamp and ventured inside. Suddenly, a grouchy voice echoed through the cave. "Hey, who's there? Turn off the light." Opal's heart began to pound and her mouth felt dry. The noodles again? She quickly turned the lamp off and exclaimed, "Are you mad at me?" This one's a little harder to see, but Mel is on top of some of those like crystals growing in the cave, kind of by where you can see the cave opening up into the meadow outside.
Opal, is that you? Called the voice, now sounding much less grouchy. In the darkness, Opal could barely make out her friend Remington hanging above. I'm not mad, I'm just nocturnal, they said. Sorry I yelled, I get kind of cranky when I'm sleeping. Phew, said Opal. Sleep tight. You can see Mel is hanging upside down with all the bats. The cave led out into a meadow filled with the most vibrant flowers Opal had ever seen. I should pick some of these for the party, she thought, and got to work. And okay, there, Mel is in the bush with the pink flowers right behind Opal.
That page with all the flowers is, I think, the first page that we worked on for the art, and we changed the colors of the flowers probably 100 times.
Oh my
That was the
gosh.
one where we like nailed down the color
I don't know
scheme.
why, we just were really,
It took a long time.
Oh my goodness. And where's Mel on this page?
Oh, in the bush that's like, if you look at Opal's tail, right
Mm-hmm.
on that bush that it's touching with all the pink flowers, you'll see a little outline of Mel. Do you see? So right by her little tail feather.
Is that the one where it went to the publisher without?
Oh, do you think it's
That
not on
could
the
be.
book?
Oh, it's
that's
not.
so
It is
funny.
not
Oh my
on this one.
gosh.
Okay, that's so funny because
So funny.
I have my own kids have spent like
Oh
hours
no.
trying to
I
find,
think
and they're like, well, maybe just on this page.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, yeah, no, it's
Yeah, it
not
went
here.
to some published.
Oh, that's so funny.
Okay, well, please apologize on our behalf.
Oh my gosh, no,
That
it's
is
fine. I will get another copy. I just figured, I was like, I don't know, maybe it's
I
just
think
might not be on
that they
Emmy.
might have just sent the wrong page to the publisher. You can just pretend that Mel is really, really good at
Really
hiding.
hidden.
Yeah. Well, that I was just like, I don't know. It was a good conversation because the kids are like,
Oh,
no, she has to be on this
That's
page.
so
Oh my
funny.
gosh, we're probably driving some people insane.
Totally. That's really funny.
What happened?
I'll make like a little sticker.
Yes.
Yeah,
a little
that's a
clear
fun
sticker
idea.
and put it on there. But
Perfect. Oh my gosh. No wonder. I'm like, it's right there.
yeah, I'm like, okay, wait, hold on. Am I seeing it? No.
No, we should send you a picture of the digital ones.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, really.
Okay. Yeah, sorry to
No, that's
no.
okay. I'm glad you noticed.
Yeah.
As she bent down to pick another blossom, a tiny voice shouted, "Hey, miss, I'm working here." Oh no! Throat tight, neck wobbly, legs like jelly. Opal felt it all again, even quicker this time. She dropped the flowers and blurted, "Are you mad at me?" And there are two Mels here. There's one on the bottom left of the page where Opal is holding the flower with the bee inside. And then Mel is also holding on for dear life to that bouquet of flowers that Opal threw in the air. He looks very concerned.
Oh.
Oh my gosh.
Of course not. Just real busy, buzzed Hank the honeybee, peeking out from behind a petal. I'm on the job. Gotta fill this honey order for Miss Peanut by sunset. I'm heading to Miss Peanut's bakery right now, said Opal. What a coincidence. And you can see Mel on the hat, on Opal's hat. It went on like this all day. Are you mad at me? 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 Psst, are you mad at me? You're not mad at me, are you?
There's another Mel on that page.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
my
okay.
God, I keep forgetting.
In the
Oh, yeah.
tree on the bottom left.
Oh, there. I couldn't even find him. I mean, her.
Again and again, the noodles crept back. I was crunching too loudly on these yummy leaves to hear you say hi. I'm just feeling grouchy because I lost my favorite beard comb. I only yelped because I got a thorn stuck in my paw. I flew away because I thought I smelled a french fry. We didn't mean to exclude you, we just huddle like this to stay warm. I'm finishing my underwater basket weaving project and I got distracted. This is just my face. There are a ton of Mels on this page.
Oh, yeah.
I think there's one by each of these animal interactions. So there's one on the bush by the giraffe. And then there's one inside of the bunny's burrow. There's one climbing up the mountain behind Opal. There's one just falling out of the sky. I don't know how that would work. And then in the snow behind Opal with the penguins, there's one hanging upside down on a palm tree. And then there's one with a little scuba mask behind Opal when she's swimming.
Oh.
We should have given them a little parachute when in the sky, but we didn't.
I know. I don't know why I did that. Opal has a parachute, but Mel is just
That's okay.
falling.
Yeah, Mel's going directly for that nice soft tree, so I think
Exactly.
they're okay.
Yeah, good thinking.
By the time Opal got to the bakery, she was pooped. Being anxious was a lot of work. Hello, Opal, said Miss Peanut. Look at you, old enough to pick up an order by yourself. How was the trip here? Opal told her everything. Why don't I join you for the walk back, said Miss Peanut. I'd be leaving for the party soon anyway. And so let's see, we have Mel in the bakery case. by the
eating some of the
eating some of
pastries.
I love that.
stuff. And then we also have Mel
On that little hanging
on the little
planter.
basket planter thing. Yes.
Mm.
By the
And something we loved Miss Peanut, and we felt like she's so like attuned to Opal, just knowing like, why don't I walk back with you? Like
Mm.
she could have gone a different, like I don't think she was ready to go right that second, but she could just tell that Opal could use some support, and we just loved her. We were just like, she just gets it.
she's one of the
Mhm.
good grown-ups.
Yeah. Yeah.
Definitely.
Mm.
You know, said Miss Peanut as they strolled side by side, when I first opened my bakery, I constantly worried that customers were mad at me. Turns out most of them were just hungry. Opal giggled. And there's Mel hanging on to Miss Peanut's tail. But when they arrived back at Opal's house, her whole family was outside setting up. You did it, said Pops. How do you feel? And there's another Mel on top of the tent on the right side.
Mhm.
I'm proud of myself, Opal said, but it wasn't easy. Every time I bumped into someone, I worried I'd done something wrong or that they didn't like me. We know the noodles make it extra hard to try new things, said Mama. You are one brave ostrich. And there's Mel on a balloon at the bottom left.
Really, really wanting to be noticed.
Just like,
Yeah,
guys,
he's
come
starting
on.
to be concerned there.
Like, come on. Okay, it's getting old.
The Feather Family Soiree was the best one yet. This was a super fun page to draw because it has all the animals from the whole book. It has all the animals that Opal was worried about when she was traveling, and it has her friends from the very beginning of the book. You have Miss Peanut with her wife sharing some kind of special drink.
Yes.
And then also, Erin noticed.
Yes.
But on sort of in the center of the spread right behind Opal, there's a cat and two dogs that are dancing. The cat is my cat, Mitzvah. And the bigger dog is Cody's dog, Georgia. And then the
Oh.
little dog is our other sister's dog, Leo.
Oh my gosh.
I don't think that the three of them have ever all been together in
No,
real life. And I don't think that they would dance if we ever tried that, but they're having fun.
They've been in pairs with one
Yeah,
another.
yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well, they are very, very cute. Oh.
Oh, and then Mel
Yeah,
is
where's
hanging
Mel?
on to the table with the big fancy dessert on it.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah. They're like, get me in that tart.
Mhm. I love how you use like lines to show different feelings. I feel like
Yes.
on this Mel, you sort of see maybe some excitement that they're feeling about the cake, and then when Opal came back from her adventure, she had some lines sort of around her head that showed she was proud. Yeah, it was really neat.
Yeah. I love that page too. I could just look at it, like just like the tart floating in the water tank.
Oh,
like,
also for the tart, we looked up what ostriches eat in
Oh,
real
yeah.
life
No
because we
way.
didn't really know, and they eat beets and fruit. So it's
Oh
a
my
beet and
gosh.
berry tart. I don't know if people would really want that in real life.
I would
It's on
want
their
it.
dessert.
I know.
I'll have
But
to try making it.
yeah,
sometime.
seriously.
Yeah, we were like, well, we want it to be something that they would actually eat and enjoy.
Oh my gosh. And Tyler, how do you think up all of these things? Like the frog holding the triangle? I mean, hilarious.
I know.
And where did that come from?
So good.
I don't remember. I think I wanted there to be some animals that were playing musical instruments. Like it was one of those kinds of parties, sort of like a wedding where people are
Yeah.
dancing. I don't know.
I
It
love
was
it.
yeah.
The imagination.
It was a blur, but it was very fun. And I put everyone's wearing like little flowers and bows and stuff, and the porcupine has flowers all throughout its quills.
I love
Yes.
it so much.
I
I just
so
want to
good.
be there. I have
Right?
FOMO that I'm not there.
I know. Same.
Oh my gosh. When Opal got in bed that night, she was full of hope and triple layer double custard beaten berry tart. Today wasn't the last day she'd get the noodles, but the next time they came, she knew she would be okay. Wait,
Mm.
Opal, are you mad at me? I've been trying to say hi to you this whole book. Look what you can miss when you worry the day away. Can you spot Mel, the chameleon, throughout the book? Well, this one's easy to spot Mel, right there.
Mhm.
But yeah, we came up with that idea
Mm.
afterwards, I think. And it was just like, wait, what if, because chameleons blend in,
Mhm.
the idea that maybe you're so focused on someone being upset with you, you don't even realize you're missing out on like a friend or like something, because there's so
Mhm.
many days where Tyler and I will talk about like, oh, I didn't even enjoy that movie or that fun thing that we went to or that vacation because we were just
Mm.
caught up in anxiety about work or something like that, or how
Mhm.
someone's feeling about us. And then so just we wanted to really bring home the fact that when you worry, it really takes up so much of your brain. You can miss out on some good stuff. And then just showing, just kind of in a silly way, though, that because Opal was so distracted, she in turn was missing Mel, who then was like,
Mhm.
wait, are you mad at me? So I thought that was a little bit funny, but also kind of represented how distracting it can be when those racing thoughts and anxious feelings are just swirling around in your head.
Mm. Mhm.
Yeah.
And that
Ah,
there are other animals also worrying, not just Opal.
yes.
Right.
Opal
Right.
is also
Right.
worried.
Exactly.
Yes.
It's not
Yeah.
just you.
Right. Oh my gosh. Well, you two are exceptional, inspirational, hilarious, brilliant. This book is so helpful for understanding big worries and a reminder that we can be strong and brave even when the noodles show up.
Yeah.
Thank you again for sharing your book and your time with us. And Gritty Kids, if you would like to learn more about Are You Mad at Me, Tyler Fetter and Cody Fetter, there are links at the bottom of this episode that a grown up can help you open. Thank you for reading with me.
Thank you, Gritty Kids.
Thanks, Gritty Kids. Thanks for reading with us.